Hey guys, and welcome to my 22-week bump date. I'm definitely over halfway there, especially as I will most likely not be going to 40 weeks. So in reality, it could be anywhere from 15 to 17 weeks away, So at 22 weeks, baby girl weight, holy cow, I'll talk about that in just a sec. From head to foot, your fetus is about 11 inches with a weight of just under 1 pound and is about the size of a papaya. You know, when you think about a foot, it's pretty big. Like, think about where we've come in 22 weeks. It's just really cool to think about. So it is a girl, and if you saw the gender reveal, you'll notice that Chris and I were fairly surprised. I had a hunch that it might be a girl, but I thought that with Connor too, and I was wrong. It was a boy. We have an idea of a name. Chris is pretty confirmed on it. I'm the one that's hard to make a decision because it's just like, I don't know her. And I know whatever name we pick will suit her and that will be fine. But like, I was supposed to be a Danielle. And then I was born and they were like, nope, she is not a Danielle. And my name Angela apparently came from a Pizza Hut waitress. So there you go. But you know, it's just like, if she's born, like, when she's born, I don't know, maybe she's not the name that we're thinking. I don't know. I don't know if I'll do a name reveal. If we do a name reveal, it's because we feel very definitive on it and I'm not quite there yet. So either we'll do them before she's born or we'll make it part of her like birth announcement video. We're not quite sure yet. Over the past few weeks, movement is definitely there. I'm feeling her every single day. Mostly I'm feeling her at night. I do feel her sometimes in the morning, but not often. Usually it's at night when I'm laying down on the couch, flat on my back, and I'll start to feel her. It's nice to feel that more definitive, consistent movement, and I'm excited to feel it progress because with Connor, I feel like this is pretty much what I felt. I never felt like jabs to the ribs or an elbow or anything like that. It was just a lot of like bumps. It wasn't anything too crazy. I never really got uncomfortable. So I'll be curious to see what that'll be like with this little one. I also bought the Fetal Doppler, and I can insert a clip of that here in a second. I bought it and I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about it at first. As of so far, it has been a blessing. I love that thing. It was really great when I wasn't feeling definitive movement. Like, I could have gone an entire day and to my knowledge not have felt anything. So to have that Doppler and to be able to find the heartbeat was very reassuring, especially in between doctor's appointments. That's been really helpful. So far the Fetal Doppler has been great. I got it off Groupon and I think it ended up being $30. So it really wasn't that bad at all. So I'll insert a clip of that right here. So hearing that heartbeat for the first time at home was very cool, and yeah, it's just been a great asset so far in this pregnancy. Another thing that I've been noticing is my wedding ring is getting a little bit tighter, which some people might be like, yeah, it's a normal pregnancy symptom, you get swelling. But for me, that was one of the first signs of, I didn't know it at the time, but that was one of the first signs of the preeclampsia. So it wasn't so much my hands, it was more my feet, but I did notice it in my hands. And that's all I've ever known. So of course, when I started getting swelling in my hand, I'm like, oh crap, here we go again. But it's only been in my hands, and it's usually on the really warm days. We actually have had a couple of really warm days in New York this spring so far. My feet have not gotten swollen yet, which is good. I don't believe I noticed swelling in my feet until like 26 weeks last time. And that was significant. It wasn't just like a you've been on your feet all day type of swelling. It was, I was wearing flats and the swelling was like bubbling over the flats. So that's something I definitely know to keep an eye out for now. But as of right now, I have only had swelling in my hands. I've had more stretching pain, like around ligament pain, and I've noticed that more often like in bed if I turn a little too quickly or anything along those lines, I'll feel like kind of like a cramp, but it's not really a cramp. I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain, but just like a painful stretch. And it kind of makes me like curl up in the fetal position, and I'm like, oh, okay, that doesn't feel that great. I do remember getting those last time, so I know that that's nothing to be like overly concerned about, but I'm definitely feeling those pains the further I get along here. We had our anatomy scan at a little over 19 weeks. And that was not so cool in the beginning. For the first couple minutes, I was on the verge of panic, only because when we've had ultrasounds before, I feel like I've been able to see the heartbeat almost immediately. And for some reason this time I wasn't seeing a flicker, and she wasn't moving to my knowledge, which brought back flashbacks of when we saw Connor on the ultrasound machine and he didn't have a heartbeat and wasn't moving. So I remember feeling very like red in the face. You couldn't see that because it was dark in there, but like red in the face, and my heartbeat started to go, and I'm like, okay, can you just show me? Like, why am I not seeing anything? So he started measuring her head, and then he did all that, and then he put the, I don't know what you call it, like the cursor or the focus on the heartbeat. He's like, okay, now let's check the heartbeat. And like went there, and that little bar will come across the bottom of the screen. And I thought it would look like a heartbeat monitor, but it looked blank to me. And I was like, you've got to be kidding. And I couldn't hear anything. So I freaked in my mind. Like, I wasn't freaking out on the outside, but I'm just like, this can't be happening again. And he was like, nope, it's measuring at like 160. I'm like, oh, okay. So that was scary, but it was fine. I'm not an ultrasound tech, so I can't really read that kind of stuff. So we went through the whole ultrasound, and he had mentioned at one point that she was pretty squirmy, which sometimes I can't tell because like I wasn't feeling super consistent movement at that point. But when they're moving the like wand around, I can't tell if she's moving or if it's just because the wand is moving, if that makes any sense. So that was pretty cool to hear that she was very squirmy. Speaking of squirmy, so I can feel the kicks, and then Chris actually felt the first kick the other day. And it was like more emotional for me than what I thought it would be. I was laying on the couch, and I knew that the movement was strong enough to where he could probably feel it. So he came over and put his hand there, and she kicked, and he looked over at me, and I looked at him, and he's like, was that one? And I'm like, yeah, that was one. So that means a lot to me. I don't know. It's just kind of like, I feel it every day. So when he gets to feel it, I feel like that's a really special moment for the two of them. From the last time I updated you guys, over the course of the past 4 or 5 weeks, we had our 1-year Angelversary with Connor. So that was, we took it better than what I thought we would. Chris is always pretty good about that kind of stuff. I definitely broke down at one point, like in the morning, but then the rest of the day went fairly well. Didn't really do anything specific. I thought maybe we would order like one of the lanterns that you light and set up, but we didn't do that. We didn't do a balloon. We didn't really do anything. We just kind of played it by ear. I didn't know what would feel right or anything like that, so we just kind of took the day for what it was, and we just hung out with each other. And I think that that was a really good way to spend that. So what I might do to kind of honor that, I might do a separate video on the bereavement boxes that we received when we were in the hospital with him. Who knows, it could be helpful to someone. Like, I know if you're ever in that situation, you don't really have a say of if you get one or what exactly is in them, but it might be helpful for someone to see what we got. Like, maybe someone wants to put a box together and donate it to a hospital. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna film that. And then the last thing, I guess, that's happened since last time, we had our appointment two days ago, and this appointment was the first time with a doctor. Every time we've met so far has been with one of the midwives that we really like, but this one was with one of the doctors at the practice, and this was actually the doctor that delivered Connor, and it was the first time I had seen him in a year. So that was like, it's hard to explain. I kind of felt like I was seeing a family member. Like that's kind of like the connection I feel like I have with him. I don't remember a lot of those days that we were in the hospital, and I don't know if it's because I was on, I think it's magnesium sulfate, and I've heard that that can mess with your memory. Just the fact that it was traumatic and I was exhausted. I'm sure it's a combination of all of those things. So I don't remember all of the details, which I'm kind of grateful for. But what I do remember is that in an environment of what seemed to be like chaos, he was that calming force. My family and Chris's family, I'm sure, felt like helpless and they had no control over the situation, and it was what it was. So for the doctor to come in and not like tell them what we were doing, but to offer like, here's the option and here's why I think this is best, I think that that was really helpful. He was just wonderful. I could not have asked for a better doctor in such a traumatic experience. He was just the perfect personality for me, for Chris, and for our families. So we have most everything that we need. I think the only things that we're missing are like the big things. Well, we need more car seat bases, but we already have our car seat picked out, so I don't need any help with that. But I need help with a baby monitor and a swing. So if you guys have suggestions, like things that you, I don't know, really liked, or even things that you tried and you're like, no, would not recommend, please leave them in a comment below, because I'm having a hard time picking out either one. One feature that I would really like with the monitor, which might help suggestions maybe, is to be able to zoom in and turn the monitor from the, or to turn the camera from the monitor. So, because I've heard there are some brands out there where like if you want to turn it, you literally have to go in the room to turn it to see the baby, and I don't want to do that. Like I would rather do it from the monitor itself. So that's a feature that we would definitely like to have. Other than that, I think that's it. So let me go ahead and show you my bump. So for 22 weeks, I think I'm definitely, like there are some days I look in the mirror and I'm like, holy crap, I'm only 22 weeks. But I have also heard that with the second baby, it can show a little further sooner. So if I can get Chris to take a picture of me, I'll insert a side-by-side of where I was with Connor around this time and where I am now with her. So I'll show you that and we'll see if there might not be a big difference. It might just be in my head, but who knows? One last thing before I go is I would appreciate video ideas. They don't have to be baby related. They could be essentially anything, but I feel like I want to expand what I do my videos on, whether it's like, I don't know, a grocery haul, or like when I do go through a nesting spurt, like a before and after, or like a during. Like I really like watching cleaning videos. So like for example, a friend of mine from back in the pageant days has a channel here on YouTube called Thrifted Living. Her name's Karen, and she does thrift hauls and videos and things like that. So I would love to go to like Salvation Army, and there's another thrift store in a city nearby here that, you know, maybe I could do like a maternity clothing haul or something like that, or like maybe finding little knickknacks for her nursery. I think I'm definitely going to do that. I just have to find the time to actually do it. I'm just kind of like, I know I don't do the bump dates every week. I mean, a reason for that is usually because there's not a lot going on from week to week to week, so I don't want to just film and have like a 2-minute video. So if you have other ideas that you've seen other YouTubers do, let me know what those ideas are, and I would definitely like to expand what it is that I'm filming a little bit more. Thank you guys so much for watching and for following us, and I will update you guys again really, really soon. Bye. Nope, she is not edited. Try that again. Oh, my nose. So for some reason my camera cut out before its 20 minutes was up. So I'm gonna try to remember how I finished this video. Oh my god. Oh, the heartburn is real. Ah.